Hi, this is Greg Dye, son of Norman Dye, son of Myron and Lucy. First, I'd like to introduce you to my family. My wife, Laura, and I have 4 children. Jeremy, our oldest, Anthony, next, Ondalyn, our only daughter, and then Zach. We also have 7 grandchildren. This picture was taken in 2018, and in case you noticed, I do have white hair. I'm just trying to be like Grandpa in one more way. 2 years ago, my second son, Anthony, bought me a DNA kit for Christmas. Since then, my brothers, Gerald, Ruth, and most of my children have taken the test as well. Since then, it's been fun trying to trace my DNA back to see which portions came from each branch of my tree. The picture here shows my dye tree. I have compared my DNA with many third, fourth, fifth, and occasionally sixth cousins, and have used that to determine which segments belong to which ancestor. As you can see on this chart, the 2 blue colors is the DNA I inherited from Grandpa Myron and his ancestors. The 2 green colors is the DNA that I inherited from Lucy and her ancestors. This project is only 56% complete so far, but I've had a lot of fun with it. Those of you who know me well know that I love logic puzzles, and DNA has certainly been the most challenging puzzle I've had so far. When I find a segment that connects to a specific ancestor, I like to ponder which traits I inherited from them. Not just physical traits like the dye nose, but noble character attributes and personalities. I love this great family I was born into. Parents, siblings, uncles and aunts, and cousins. We owe all that we have to Myron and Lucy and their great heritage. Thanks, Grandpa and Grandma, for helping to make us who we are today. Humans share 99.5% of the exact same DNA. Those who study the human genome have only been able to identify about 1/2 of the SNPs that make us unique. For example, some gave us a color of our hair or eyes. Until they figure out the other half, I'm going to take the liberty and give some names to some of them. Please indulge me if I stray too far. The Practical Joker segment on chromosome 9 has 5 generations of history. Walter Ernest, Myron, my dad, myself, my oldest son Jeremy all possess this same segment. We tested Savannah, but she doesn't have it, so I'm hoping that maybe her siblings will have it. My son Anthony and I both have accident-prone segments. I'm thinking on chromosome 12 and 14. We inherited this from Lucy Christina Williams and Sarah Mary Ellen Crofts. And then there's a segment on chromosome 11 that I like to call the kindness to others segment. My daughter Ondalyn truly has this. She's often known to others as a true friend. I believe this trait must have come from Lucy and her father Anders Christian Jensen and her mother Lucy Christina. Back on chromosome 9, there's a segment that is pretty consistent in our family. I'd like to call this the inventor segment. Here is a picture of Zach with his famous couch on wheels that he invented a number of years ago. Most of the family tried this out on steeper and steeper hills until they finally went down one hill and nearly didn't make the corner. Yes, there is a segment on chromosome 13 that helps in the ability to catch fish. Here you can see Ruth has a big section of this. If you look under Ruth, you'll notice that both Corey and Gerald also have this significant talent. Then under them, you'll notice me. No luck. Grandpa was famous for his silly songs, and I couldn't locate where it is on my genome, but I know that I have it. After my grandkids lay their heads on their pillows when they sleep over at our house, they get to choose different things to go in a silly song, and I'm positive that this ability came from Grandpa. I remember him singing a song when I was younger. He was something like this. When I was born, my pa and ma looked at me and said, "Oh, Shaw." The doctor said, "It's a girl, I think," and pa went out and got a drink. Pa says I look just like ma, and ma says I look just like pa. Pa says I look like a prince, and I've been a stiff child ever since. They always, always pick on me. They never, never let me be. I'm so lonesome, awfully sad. It's been a long time since I've been glad. Tell you what I'll do by and by. I'll eat some worms and then I'll die. When I'm gone, you wait and see. They'll all be sorry that they picked on me. My father Norman passed away in 1994, long before DNA became popular. Using the DNA from 5 of his sons, we can now see how his DNA compares with others, including Gerald and Ruth. The darker blue in this chart represents what Norman has in common with Gerald. The lighter blue is what Norman has in common with Ruth. I don't know if these segments came directly from Myron or Lucy, but it definitely came from the two of them.